one of the wrestlers just coming up there, Chiyotenzan, who's got no losses so far, along with Musashimo and Kyokushuzan. Seems unlikely that Kyokushuzan will be in the race for the Basho win, the Emperor's Cup, possibly a playoff, as we've seen in the past, between Musashimo and Chiyotenzan. But there is a number of other wrestlers still in the race for the title. So on to the first bout of day 6. And it's between Buyuzan and Tochisakae. Buyuzan from the Sashigawa stable, Tochisakae from the Kasugano stable. That's stables, of course, is where they train. There are 52 stables in sumo currently. The numbers rises and falls. And Buyuzan there from the all-powerful Musashigawa stable, defeating Tochisakae. So third win for Buyuzan, fourth loss for Tochisakae. Now we have a new wrestler now, Hokutoriki. He only spent a couple of bashos in the Juryo division, which he came through very quickly. Spent considerably longer in the Makushita division, which is below that. But Kyokushuzan there reads his sumo very easily. Hokutoriki came out before this bout with 4 wins and only 1 loss. Kyokushuzan then dances to the side, takes his arm and spins him over. So that's Kyokushuzan 6 straight wins in a row, all done with, according to my tally, with different techniques. Quite an unusual record so far. Now we have Oikari and Chiyotenzan. Chiyotenzan in the blue, taller wrestler, being driven back by Oikari to the edge. Chiyotenzan just hanging on there, but it's a slap that knocks Chiyotenzan down. Looks as if he had Oikari back to the edge, but it was a quick slap that did it. Tsukiotoshi win for Oikari. Third win for him. 5th loss for Chiyotenzan. Well, Chiyotenzan not doing so well. He sat out the last basho because of injuries. Obviously not fully back on form. Now Shimotori fights Jumonji, both wrestlers fighting under their own names, their own family names, which is not the sumo names, otherwise known as Shikona. So both wrestlers there with the hips pulled well back, quite a long gap between the 2 sets of belts. As you can see, it makes it quite difficult to grab the belt in that position, but they've strained up a bit. And there's a battle of the grips there. And down they go off the edge. You can see the height of that dohyo there when they crash down. There's a little bit of padding on the floor there. And some cushions as well, but it's Shimotori who takes that one. 4th win for him. So he's not doing too badly in his second Makuuchi Basho. Now Tochinohana in the light blue mawashi fights Kotoryu in the dark blue. Kotoryu with a badly, or rather heavily taped up right leg. So full start there. Both wrestlers have got to start at the same time and not within inside those white start lines. They've got to be either on it or back from it. So pretty even start there. And some slaps. At the same time looking for belt grip, which is being denied to both wrestlers. Very skillful at blocking off the arms and stopping the grips, and they're very skillful at breaking the grip as well. But it's an overarm grip there that Kotoryu got in the middle of those exchanges that paid off. Uses that overarm grip to spin him over with the overarm throw, the uwatenage. Uwatenage. Never pronounce it correctly. Uwatenage. Now it's Kaiho, son of a fisherman, son from a fishing family, named after his father's fishing boat, fighting Hamanishiki. Got some thrust there and some slaps. Kaiho bunging in a slap, tries a slap down on the back of the neck as well. Got a good mix of techniques there. Hamanishiki eventually almost being bent over backwards on the edge, but it's Kaiho who nudges him out with yorikiri. As you can see, not a lot of change of expression on Kaiho's face, whatever he does. Though I did detect a grin in his previous bout. Now, Wakanoyama. Young Mountain. That's Tamanoshima. They've only fought once before. Wakanoyama won that one. Yama leads with a head, goes for one arm. But Tamanoshima frees that arm, so it's into fairly open sumo now. And eventually it's in that open position, it's Tamanoshima gets his hand on the back of Wakanoyama's neck and pops him down with Hataki Komi. Fourth win for Tamanoshima, third loss for Wakanoyama. Dejima, well, he's back on form, 4 wins and 1 loss. Interesting to see what the final result at the end of the basho is, but he's certainly, he's had 6 maki koshis in his last 6 bashos, which has slowly edged him down the rankings, but he's still in the top division, and it looks like he's going back up to where he was before. He won a tournament, and he was up at Ozeki rank. And that's another win for him, 5 wins and only 1 loss. And his confidence must surely be growing. Otsukasa in the purple belt, Daizen in the dark blue. Fought 7 times, Otsukasa's won 4 of them, just marginally ahead. Well, that's always amazing that when the wrestlers are leaning into each other, pushing like mad, and then one wrestler just gets a hand on and just does a quick pull down and the other goes flying. Because the other opposing wrestler puts so much into the push that when their resistance is taken away, they do go flying through the air. But the wrestlers, the sumo wrestlers, have got an amazing sense of knowing when the other wrestler is pushing too hard. Now we have Takamisakari against Kyokutenho. Takamisakari, known in the sumo world as Kato-chan. Not for any big reason though. Kato is his original family name. So a perfunctory slap on Kyokutenho's face, and then straight for the belt. But he's powerful. He's heaving Kyokutenho up, and so he tries to heave him up and push him out, and then he does a reverse on that, spins him round and drops him in the ring. Very deceptive wrestler, Takamisakari. He's been blighted by very bad knee injuries, but he's good. He's awkward. Takanowaka. No wins at all so far. He's got 5 losses, fights Tamakasuga with only 1 win. Tamakasuga never misses a basho since he started. Well, nice lot of Tsupari attacks there, but Tamakasuga slides off on that last one and never really recovers from that. Because if they hit the opponent's throat or chest, then the next arm can move in a kind of whirlwind attack. But once they miss, then usually the opposing wrestler can take advantage of that. So Takanowaka takes his first very much needed win. Tatsumumi chucks in a thimbleful of salt. Here fighting Akinoshima. Well, these two have fought each other 26 times, and Tosanumi's won 14 of them. So a hard start from Tosanumi. He really put some power into that tachi-ai, and Akinoshima not in that one at all, and it was all from the tachi-ai. Tosanumi could have come out a little bit lighter. You see the heads bang there. When I say heads, you know, they aim for the forehead. It's forehead to forehead, ideally. And Tosanumi, from that huge surge at the beginning there, just kept Akinoshima moving backwards. So that was Tosanumi's 4th win, 4th loss for Akinoshima. Tochinohana. He's a Komusubi ranked wrestler. He fights Wakano Sato, who's also Komusubi ranked, so that's the bottom of the Sanyaku group of wrestlers, which is to say the ranks above my Gashura. It's the top ranks, really. Well, nice hustling move there from Wakano Sato. Kept Tochinohana constantly on the move as he rocked him from side to side, and eventually a yorikiri force out on the edge. Yorikiri, of course, the technique that gets more wins than anything else, the straightforward nudge out on the edge. Now, Asashoryu, well, he's hurt his shoulder. In fact, he hurt his shoulder before the basho in training. And it's made his tsupari more difficult, but it doesn't stop him from doing them. It just hurts. So there you see, straight on the belt against Kaiho. And there's a leg grab. Look at that. That's sumo. That's Mongolian sumo for you. Now that's really quite special, that technique. Asashoryu just drops down. He gets a lot of help from his father, who is Mongolian sumo wrestling champion. But they certainly specialise in these blocks on the leg and the knee, which you don't really see so much of in sumo. There are some techniques, but there you see that hand on the knee there, and that's enough. That's enough to drive Kaiho down and make him put his arm to the ground. So, fourth win for Asashoryu, third loss for Kaiho, who seems to be moving steadily away from any chance at winning this basho. Now we have Chiyotenzan against Miyabi-yama. These two have fought 10 times and each has won 5 times. So let's see who gets it this time. Miyabi-yama, rough and ready fighter. Some doubt as to his fighting spirit, I would say, but there again, some would say that of Chiyotenzan. He wavers a bit. Went through a bad patch a year or so ago and uttered a lot of weak words, as they say in Japan. So into the tsuparis, and Chiyotenzan still trying to move forward. Miyabi-yama not moving forward at all, being driven back the whole time. Well, this is quite a boxing match, isn't it? We've seen this before from Chiyotenzan. There's an attempt at a pull down, but it's one arm on the chest of Miyabi-yama right at the end there that sends him flying out. Amazing power that Chiyotenzan has got with that one arm. He can really loft them into space with that one arm, especially when they're right on the edge. So Chiyotenzan takes his 6th straight win. Now that's his stable boss there, the great wolf, Chiyonofuji, watching. Because they don't call him Chiyonofuji now, he's the Kokunoe Oyakata, which is to say the Kokunoe stable boss. Now you see that forward movement all the time of Chiyotenzan's now, but at one point Miyabi-yama tries a pull down on the neck, which looks dangerous. There goes the pull down, but it's the hand on the body, or rather a series of pushes. All right, and then eventually right on the edge, it's the hand on the edge that sends Miyabi-yama. Well, there's the pull down, actually. There were 2 pull downs in that. It looked like Chiyotenzan had lost it, but Miyabi-yama gets launched into space. So good bout there. Now Musayama against Toki. And Musayama comes out with a very fierce charge. Toki not so good on the touchy eye. He'll stand up quickly, use his height and his long arms as best he can. Well, it's Musayama across the ring first, and he's closing Toki down. So Toki not really given a lot of space to use those arms of his. And it's all from that touchy eye, which Musayama was faster at. He comes across the ring very quickly. And you can see there's not a lot of space between the two wrestlers, and Toki doesn't have a lot of leverage for the push. And so it's Musayama who takes his 5th win, and it's Toki's 5th loss. And some prize money for Musayama. Tochisakae, he's got 1 loss, which is not a disaster, but he's not looking very happy. He's got 4 wins. On the other hand, Hamanishki's got 1 win and 4 losses. So Hamanishiki suffering in this basho compared with the last one when he had 10 wins. So Hamanishiki doesn't look very strong. He's a technician, but he's physically looking a little bit feeble this time round. Well, even as I speak, he dumps Tochiazuma. Well, he certainly looks as though he was wavering a bit there, but he had that underarm grip which he locked in with, and then he managed to do a kind of twist. There's the grip, there's the underarm grip. And he does a kind of twist to one side, and then that grip there, which normally would be in a pulling position, moves into a pushing position. It's the Shite Dashinagi. There it goes, almost, and that turns. from a pull into a push, and that dumps Tochiazuma out. So that's 2 losses for the Ozeki, Tochiazuma, and second win for Hamanishiki. Now on to the last bout of day 6. Musashi Maru fights Takanonami. Well, these two have fought each other more than any other wrestlers. They've had 50, this is their 54th encounter. Of course, they've both been in sumo a long time. Musashi Maru came in 89. Takanonami came in 87. They both came into the Makuuchi division in 91, so that's what, 11 years ago. 66 bashos in theory, and they both very quickly moved up the ranks, so they would have fought each other many times. Of that 54 bouts, it's Musashi Maru who's won 35, including the last 8. So let's see what happens here. Now Takanonami looks though he's struggling a bit there. He doesn't really get going with anything. He's kind of trying a sort of half-hearted kime hold, one of his specialities. Twitched his leg once or twice as if he wanted to do the sorogake, the leg hook around the side, but his heart was not in it by the look of it. So that's another victory to Musashi Maru in their long history of head-to-heads. Well, there we see at the end of day 6, it's 3 wrestlers in the lead with 6 straight wins. It's Musashi Maru, Chiyotenzan and Kyokushuzan. Behind them, Musayama and Dejima with 5 wins and 1 loss. Well, they prepare to leave from their little seats close to the ring. But anyway, thank you for joining us. We'll be back tomorrow with days 7, 8 and 9. This is Syd Hoare from Tokyo. Bye for now, take care, and sayonara.